Russia carrying out a vicious and unforgiving new round of attacks. And now Putin appears to be expanding his assault to cut off parts of the country. For more, let's go to Bill Hemmer.
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Good.
Evening to you. Enjoy the conversation here, guys. I want to tell you what we think is happening today, what we think the aims of the Russian military have been throughout the day. In the north, it's pretty much a stalemate, pretty much frozen. All the action today has been in the south, and I want to show you a little bit as to why. Mariupol is a critical town, so is Kherson. I'll explain in a moment here. You know what, Crimea, you know what happened in 2014 when the Russian invasion happened there, and they took that area. They also took the area in the Donbass over here. But what they did not take was this town of Mariupol. And Mariupol, based on the reports we're getting, has just been hammered for 24 hours a day for the past 3 days running. It appears the town is surrounded. Now, why would that be? Well, Crimea was a Russian base, and they were able to fortify their military there for the past 8 years. And when the Russians gave the go signal, they went right for Mariupol right here because it is occupied by the Ukrainians. They run the town. It's largely Russian-speaking, however, and a clear target on behalf of Putin and his army to try and take this area. What would they do next? Well, they're moving toward Kherson, and we had a report that the mayor of Kherson said the Russians had taken the city. Some other defense officials suggesting that wasn't the case, but let's assume that is the case at the moment. Why would that be important? The Dnieper River runs right down here, and Kherson sits right at the mouth of that river, and you'd be able to prevent any traffic that went up or down. And then where would you go next? The town of Odessa is here to the west, and Odessa has 1 million people, one of the top 5 in population for the entire country. So here's the strategy. It appears pretty evident based on the activity of the day. You got to rule the south. You got to cut off the waterways. And then perhaps once you secure that area, you can make a move toward the middle of the country, then eventually up to the capital city of Kyiv. We believe the Russian military is advancing the red portion behind me. But for the most part, it's pretty much stalled out. And there has been significant heavy fighting as well. There's the capital city. You're talking about a distance here. It's 16, 20 miles, give or take, from Kyiv to the outskirts. A lot of people wondering about this convoy. It's 40 miles long, but what's it doing? It's been sitting there for days. Why is that? There have been a list of 10 different reasons to try and explain this. But to be honest with you, no clear reason as to why it is here. It started at the airport, then it just kind of runs up this road here to a small town for 40 miles. Well, the center of the city is roughly 16, 20 miles to the southeast. Now, our Pentagon believes that the strategy on behalf of Putin is still to take Kyiv. There's a big debate about this right now. But we believe, based on the reporting we've been getting, that the idea is to go ahead and ring this city and then just smoke out as many people in the military as you can along the way. And we have seen that strategy already play out in multiple cities. One of them is here in the northeast. Kharkiv. I mean, you've seen the video, right, guys? It's just devastating stuff here. If you look at Kharkiv on a map, you just Google it, you can see the ring road that surrounds Kharkiv. It's not exactly a circle, but it's pretty close to it. And we believe that's where the Russians are trying to clear out that town in an ongoing effort. And this is the story that's only going to build by the day. You got 1 million refugees in Poland, Romania, Hungary, and other parts across Eastern Europe. So that's what we believe is the state of play as we try and figure out all this stuff.
All right, Bill, stay right there. We're going to take it around for questions. You know, it's funny. It just occurred to me, no one knows how to explain the convoy. Could it be a protest against COVID mandates?
I don't know. Maybe we ought to send
No one's ever asked that question. That's why.
Maybe if Justin.
Brilliant.
I'm barely employable.
We could send Canada to break it up.
There you go.
That would be a really good idea.
Now I understand.
Yes.
What more have you learned, Hemmer, about anything going on in regards to the European countries, the EU? You know, I saw today that several of the other countries there, like Moldova, for example, have asked to join the EU, or they're looking to see if they could join the West. They want to be a part of NATO. And I read this headline that said, as usual, Brussels is stymied and not sure what to do. I'm like, guys, pay attention.
It's kind of like Northwest Washington, right, Dana, when we were there? I mean, Greg, you want to talk about COVID? Go to Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
They love it down there. Let me ask Dana all about it. She loves it, too. This is Moldova right here, pretty much landlocked. There is a section of this country called Transnistria, okay? In 1990, not to get too deep in the weeds, but you guys need to know this. In 1990, it broke away from the rest of Moldova. It, too, just like Kherson and just like Crimea and just like Kharkiv and just like Mariupol, it is a Russian-speaking section of Moldova. So, Dana, you could see this movement. You could see a connection here, and that would explain why the tiny landlocked country of Moldova is going to the EU for cover. And I guess they'll wait on Brussels for an answer on that for some time.
Yeah, because if you look at the map there, you have those mountains in Romania, the Carpathian Mountains there. And so you'd want to carve out as a buffer Moldova, because that cuts off any invasion corridor from the south, and Russia would want to do that. So that makes perfect logical sense to just keep going west there and secure Moldova.
Could be exactly right, Jesse.
General Waters.
And also he said Carpathian.
General Waters.
Yeah, I tell you, Jesse, not to make light of your point, that was not my intent there. If you go back and listen to the video 8-9 days ago that Putin released when the invasion first started, he referenced all this stuff going back 200 and 300 years. That's what he's thinking. And I can make an argument that he went in Kharkiv for a reason. He went to Mariupol for a reason. He went to Kherson for a reason, because in his head, he sees all these areas as Russian, and that was the rationale that he used for the invasion.
But I have to say this. Why is he parked a 40-mile convoy?
I don't know.
That's there for days.
Broken
the
down.
gas is running because you got to have the heat on.
Broken down.
Those guys have to eat. They have to go to the bathroom. Yeah. A 40-mile convoy that's been parked for days.
Well,
I mean, they have to be deteriorating.
Why do you think that's the case, Geraldo? You know an 8-10 Warthog could take out the whole thing in one afternoon.
I tell you, Bill, you've read my mind. My dream is to have, in World War II, when Churchill was begging for aircraft from the United States before we entered the war, they contrived a device whereby they would take the airplanes to the border on the American side, then use horses to take them across to Canada, where and then they could fly them from Canada to the Great Britain for the fight. We should take a Warthog, fly it to the Ukrainian border, direct it above across the line, put a volunteer pilot in it, wipe out that 40-mile convoy. It's a sitting duck for those Warthog A-10s. They'd wipe out that convoy in half a day.
I just add one thing to that. I know you guys got to go, but just add one thing to that. The Ukrainian military had Polish drones, and they were very effective in the first few days. And last weekend, I think, Geraldo, there was a lot of, I would suggest, optimism toward the Ukrainian military fighting back. And I think it was because those drones were so effective. Some will tell you, some will suggest that they've run out of their supply of those drones. I can't say that's the case, but that would help explain as to why those trucks are still sitting there, largely intact.
Exactly. Bill, it's Janine. I have a question. Oh, did you say that the Pentagon is not convinced that they want to take Kyiv?
If I said that, I would say there's an ongoing debate in all military circles, Janine, about what the objective is here. But leading defense sources earlier today are still convinced that Kyiv is a target on behalf of Putin. He pretty much said it himself when he delivered his message from Moscow several hours ago. If there was a misstatement on that, Janine, I'll take it back.
No, you said that there was disagreement, but it always seemed...
I think there's an open debate as to what his intention is. I mean, there are a lot of people that think he just wants to divide the country, take the eastern half, which I mentioned is largely Russian-speaking in many of these towns, and leave the western half for the Ukrainian people to go ahead and, if it is your desire, to go ahead and move and live in that side of the country.
Well, then why is it that
debate, that's all.
Why is it that Macron said after speaking with Putin that the worst is yet to come?
Because that's what Putin said.
That's what Putin said, right?
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Bill. Great work on the billboard.
Got it, guys.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.